Today, we're going to crack the code on one of the world's most innovative companies. We're pulling back the curtain to reveal a surprisingly powerful trait Google actively hunts for in its people. And it's a trait that has way less to do with traditional genius and everything to do with elite performance. Let's get right into it.
So what do you think it is? I mean, when you picture a typical Google hire, you probably imagine someone with an insane IQ, right? Or maybe a resume just packed with jaw-dropping achievements. But what if I told you that Google actually prioritizes something else entirely? Something they believe is a much more powerful predictor of success in the long run.
You see, at Google, every single candidate gets evaluated on these 4 core criteria. First, you've got general cognitive ability, which is basically how fast can you learn and adapt. Then there's emergent leadership. You know, the ability to step up when it's needed, but also step back when someone else is the better fit. Of course, you've got your role-related knowledge for the job itself. But the really fascinating one is Googliness. It's this mix of traits, like being able to thrive in ambiguity and being a fantastic team player. And buried inside Googliness is the secret ingredient we're talking about today: intellectual humility.
Now, to really get why this trait is so critical, we first have to talk about a fundamental human flaw, a cognitive bias that gets almost all of us, especially when the stakes are high, like in business. It's what's known as the overconfidence trap.
This number is just wow. Research from Duke University asked adults a simple question. During a disagreement, how often do you think you're correct? A staggering 82% believed they were right more often than the other person. Just think about that for a second. What does it mean for a team meeting or a startup? If pretty much everyone is totally sure they're right, how does any real progress ever get made?
And trust me, this is not a small problem. The psychologist Scott Plous calls it the most catastrophic cognitive bias. And why is that? Well, because overconfidence completely stops us from learning. It makes us defend our own little version of reality instead of actually seeking out the truth. For an entrepreneur, this could be absolutely fatal. It leads to ignoring bad feedback, brushing off the competition, and just doubling down on terrible ideas.
You know, this bias is so predictable it even has its own name, the Dunning-Kruger Effect. The less you know about something, the more you think you know. Your brain literally doesn't have the tools to see its own incompetence. Just think about that first-time founder who's 100% certain their business idea is flawless, even when all the market signals are screaming no. On the flip side, real experts are often more aware of the sheer vastness of what they don't know, so they tend to be a lot more cautious. This just brilliantly shows why raw confidence is never a reliable sign of actual competence.
So okay, if overconfidence is the poison, what's the antidote? This is where we bring in Google's secret weapon. Not as some kind of weakness, but as a strategic superpower for any leader or innovator out there.
Now, it is absolutely crucial to get this next part. Intellectual humility is not low self-confidence. They are polar opposites. Low self-confidence is an emotional state, right? It's that feeling of, I'm not good enough. It paralyzes you. But intellectual humility, that's a cognitive strength. It's the confident ability to look at your own ideas and say, you know what, my belief could be wrong, and I'm totally open to finding a better answer. It's all about separating your ego from your ideas.
This is the perfect way to remember it. The goal isn't to beat yourself up. It's about getting your ego out of the driver's seat so you can see the world and the problem you're trying to solve with so much more clarity.
Okay, so we've defined it. But why does this actually matter for you as a leader, an entrepreneur, or anyone trying to build something new? Well, because developing this one skill gives you a massive, tangible, competitive edge in the marketplace.
Research shows that people with high intellectual humility have some serious advantages. They make smarter bets because they evaluate evidence more objectively. They see the whole picture because they're actively looking for different points of view. They drive real innovation because they're genuinely curious to learn what they don't know. They build unshakable teams because disagreements become collaborative, not combative. They forge stronger relationships and avoid that black and white thinking that traps so many businesses. The bottom line is this: this one trait makes you a better thinker and a way more effective leader.
So how do you know where you stand? And more importantly, how can you start building this mental muscle? Let's find out with a really quick self-assessment that researchers developed. So be honest with yourself and rate each of these statements on a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is not at all like me and 5 is very much like me.
All right, let's just run through these. As each one pops up, give yourself that 1 to 5 score. First up, do you ever question whether your own opinions, your own stances, might actually be wrong?
Next one. Do you reconsider your opinions when you're presented with new, compelling evidence? How about this one? Do you genuinely see the value in opinions that are different from your own, even when they totally challenge what you believe? And going a little deeper, can you accept that even your core beliefs and attitudes could be mistaken?
Okay, now for the action part. Are you actually willing to change your mind when the evidence points the other way?
And finally, do you actually enjoy finding new information that conflicts with your worldview? Go ahead, take a moment and add up your score.
Okay, got your total? According to the researchers who made this, if you scored a 20 or higher, you've already got a really strong foundation in intellectual humility. And hey, if you didn't, don't worry about it. Just being aware of these questions is the first and most important step to getting better.
So, if you're going to remember just one thing from this entire explainer, one simple tool you can use every single day to fight that bias and make better decisions, this is it.
That's it. It is so simple, but so incredibly powerful. The next time you feel that surge of certainty, that absolute conviction that you are right and everyone else is wrong, just pause. Ask yourself this one little question. What if I'm wrong? That single moment of doubt, that's the seed of all learning, all innovation, and all wisdom. It's Google's secret weapon, and now it can be yours too. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and help us build the hype. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.